Jalen, do you think it's time to hit the panic button in Brooklyn?
I do, and let me tell you why. Legs just alluded to it with the Lakers. You have to respect the game and the journey. Now, I get blinded like everybody else by Kevin Durant, who's going to be top 2 or 3 player on anybody's list, and also Kyrie Irving, who's an unstoppable scorer when he gets going. But I also appreciate the Miami Heat's consistency, and they're still the #1 seed. The Milwaukee Bucks are the defending champions. The Philadelphia 76ers added James Harden to go with an MVP level Joel Embiid. DeMar DeRozan is also playing at an MVP level, and the young Cleveland Cavaliers are ascending. It's hard for me to look at the Nets, who Ben Simmons hasn't played with the team just yet, and figure that they're going to leapfrog so many teams, win twice to get into the play-in, and knock off one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. So therefore, this looks like an early exit for the Nets to me today, and that's what's so intriguing about the Eastern Conference. It's so many great storylines, yet we're talking about a Nets team with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Ben Simmons on the roster, yet they're one of the worst teams in the entire NBA.
Oof. Listen, the panic button is close by. It's like right over here, but I'm not ready to press it just yet. And here's why, Jalen.
Agreed.
Kevin Durant is the one guy that I watch and say there really is no answer for him in terms of defensive personnel, defensive scheme, where you want to send him to a weak spot. He doesn't have any. So he's got an answer at all times. And we see how good he is after missing all this time. So he's there. He's ready. The Kyrie Irving factor is a big one, obviously. If you don't get him at some point every night, then forget it. It's a wrap. You're going to have that. But here's where the Ben Simmons factor for me is big. And we know he's got a lot of pressure on him. There's a lot of doubts about what we're going to see. But there's 2 areas he helps immediately. First day he steps on the floor, that is pace, which they need, and then more importantly, how much he's going to do for them defensively with his length and the guys he will have to guard and the teams they're going to have to beat. And yesterday was a great example. Jason Tatum was operating against guys 6'4" and under. He's going to do what he wants with guys like that in his mid-range and his deep game. Ben Simmons answers that. He answers when you have to guard a Jimmy Butler, a James Harden, potentially a Giannis, a Chris Middleton. All of those guys, he's going to have to see a DeMar DeRozan. He's going to have an answer for. So I think Ben Simmons will have an immediate impact without really having to have a rhythm offensively because he doesn't need that. He's a playmaker, he creates pace, and he guards everybody on the floor. And you've got Kevin Durant. That's why I'm not ready to say it's a wrap on the Nets yet. I still think they're in the mix.
Okay, well, I will say this. If today the Hawks beat the Pistons and the Nets slip to 10th in the East, that is not good news.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.